Hello and welcome to Zeke's Creations. Today I'm showing how all the parts, the 3D print parts of the prosthetic hand I'm making for my neighbor Miss Kayla will fit together. Because I have all the parts printed, all the parts I can printed, and so I'm going to figure out how they all fit together and then figure out where I'm going to go from there to get the other parts. So to start, I'm going to take the two largest pieces and put their joints on. So these are the rubber joints, and a really cool thing about these are they're designed to not have to screw or glue in. They have two parts, one on either side, and that'll keep them from wiggling out, really. Like, they can't wiggle out to one side. And so, to get them on, I'm going to take one side, get it in, and then stretch it around. Just like that. And so, you see now I have a joint in there. Now I'm going to repeat that on the other side with this piece. Once I figure out exactly how it's going to go, so it'll go like this. And so I'm going to get that in there. Going to stretch it around. And now I have that. And now I have to get both of those connected here. So I'm going to get this part right in there, stretch it around, and now it's in there. And let's repeat on the other side. This one will be a bit harder since the other one is trying to push it in. So I'm going to attempt to stretch it on either side sort of at the same time. Like that. It's sort of going in there. Yeah, this one is being quite a pain, but there we go. I got the first part, and there's the second. So you can see this is how it's going to work, and that allows for a lot of flexibility, and you can see how the strings will run just through there. And before I move on to the fingers, I think I'll just real quick show the tensioners. So there are 5 tensioners that I printed because they were in the file, but I'll only be needing 4. But they're going to sort of sit in here, and I believe the smaller end, the smaller hole, will hold a screw. And so I can figure out where I want to place them to adjust the tension for each finger individually. And then once they're all in there, screwed in, and have the strings tied on one side, I can place this over and screw it down to protect them. So now I'll just set those a bit to the side, alongside that, and I'll start working on the fingers. So here are the parts for, I believe, the pinky. And so I'm going to assemble the finger first, then I'll attach it. So these right here, you can see how the joint and the part are both numbered. And so I know which ones will match, and then I can assemble it in the same way as the larger joints. It is a bit more of a pain getting there, so that's the first side mostly in. This one's very hard. Dang, this one's a pain. You know what, let's try the other end first. So, okay, this appears, you can see the numbers match, and so this appears to go there. I am probably going to attempt this off camera, because it's a bit hard to do in the... I think I may have figured out a way to connect them. As you can see, I finally got this one, and so I'm going to have to connect it here. So first I'm going to find the larger side, and I'm going to work it in like that. And then I'm going to use these pliers and just like that, I got it in. And so you can see how that joint's working. So I like this tactic, it's working unlike the other ones, and so now I'm going to start finishing up these joints. So once again, I found the larger side of the joint. This one's slightly larger there. And I'm putting in first because the smaller one will have a bit more of a range of movement. Then I'm going to use these pliers, and I'm going to use them to force the other side over and in. And so here is, I believe, the pinky, and it is going to connect right in here. Now I am going to do the same thing as with the other joints, though it's a bit harder because there's a bit less room for this one, but I almost have it there. So just like that, we have the pinky on there. So now I'll get the next finger. So here's the next finger. So once again, the numbers match up, and you can see how the curves match up there. This is the larger end, so I'll get it in there first. And then I'll use my pliers to pull over the other end. Sometimes with some of these joints it takes quite a lot of force. So now it's on there. And then the next piece, which it is based on numbering, I can tell it's supposed to go here. And so now I'm going to slide it onto this larger end. So that's the first side on. This one has thicker connectors, so it is a lot harder to get them over. But finally, I've got it. So that's the first one, and once again, you can tell it fits by the number and the curves, and so this matches again. That's the larger side, so I'm going to get it in there first. There we go, that's the joints on. And now I am going to get it onto the main hand. So if you look there, I have the joint mostly lined up. Dang, I may have to take a break after this one because this is taking a lot of effort. Okay, first side on. And now the second one, which, as you can see, it's a smaller space that I have to get into for this one. So I expect this one is going to take quite a lot more effort. I'm actually going to switch around to some needle nose pliers here, since it's a smaller space. Go. And there we go, that's the second finger. So I'm going to take a bit of a break now, and I'll just I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with the next finger. And as usual, by now, numbers match up. Find the angle that matches best, which this one appears to be a bit harder to tell, but I think that, let's see, I don't know. I think this is the right side, right here, and this side appears to be thicker, so I'm going to slide it on. And then pliers to get that second part of the joint. And it goes on just like that. Then the next part, this side appears to be a bit thicker, so I'm going to get it on there first. Okay, that went on first try, and now I have to pull around this, which one? Once again, these are a lot larger tabs, so it's taking a whole lot more effort to pull them around. Okay. And though these needle-nose pliers appeared like I probably should use them to begin with, so that went on first, and now last one, numbers match. It appears it'll probably be this side here. That side's slightly larger, it appears, so I'm just going to slide it on. So I might actually be able to test, I might actually be able to test this prosthetic hand with regular fishing line, but when it comes to the actual one, I'm going to get some really strong fishing line, which I'm not even sure how much it'll cost yet. Okay, so now I have to get this on here. I'll get it on the harder to reach side first. This one is not one to go on because the area where it fits is really, really small. But I think I almost have it, or almost have figured out. Okay, I got it in. That took a while. Now, time to get the second part of the joint into its position. Really hope I'm not scarring up my shelf with all this, because this is a new shelf that we built just for the 3D printer and all the stuff to go with it. Okay. And there we go. That's another finger on. One more to go. Okay, last finger. Okay. As expected, numbers match. It appears it'll go like that. This side's slightly larger. So, I'm going to slide it on as best I can. Grab the pliers. And pull around. And then get it onto the next piece. This side's larger, so I'll slide it on first. Okay. Grab the pliers. And pulled around. Okay, got it in. That one took a bit. Next piece. And it appears it'll go this way. That side is just the tiniest bit larger. So I'll go ahead and get it on. Okay. We can now pull that joint around. There we go. Now, to finish it off, I need to connect it here. So, I'm going to start by just making a bit more room by pushing in that joint. And I'm going to start on the hard side. I need to get this large bit into there. So, I expect this will take a little while. Right now I'm using the pliers to try to push everything into the proper positions, which is not quite working since it's such small positions for everything. I'm going to try coming in from another side. Okay. Let's see. I think I'll go off camera for a minute to get this figured out. Took a lot of work off camera, but I finally got that joint in. And now, to finish it off, I have to get the second part in here. Just like that. Okay. So this is the prosthetic hand mostly put together. Real quick, I'll grab this piece. So this is the palm piece that will hold Miss Kayla's hand in and add some comfort. And I don't have screws or anything yet, but you can sort of see how it'll work. And also, I think I may modify this slightly, because she's going to need to be able to get her hand in with her thumb, which won't really go through there. So I'm thinking I'll screw it in around here, and then here I'll add Velcro, so she can pull this off, because this will already be Velcro to hold it on there. So if I were to just add some Velcro instead of screws, that would make it a whole lot easier for her to get her hand in. And then when it comes to these, I need the strings, possibly a softer filament for these, and then some screws to hold them in this. And then I need Velcro straps for this, Velcro for here, screws for here. I need silicone, like a silicone mix or whatever, for these, because there's a mold that I can print out to make grips to go here. I just need to figure out how to mold silicone and what materials I need to make it. And then I'll need a heavy-duty fishing line that will run from here with the tensioners all the way out to each finger. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was informative to you about what I'm doing to Miss Kayla. And please consider donating to my GoFundMe to help me raise the funds to get all the parts I need to finish this off. And in the future, I plan on trying experiments with the hand when I can. Like, back here, you can't really see it, I have my multi-material system that can do 4 colors with a 3D printer. So I could do images on the back of the hand, for example, or I could like color nails or something. And also I can experiment with different materials once I have different printers and stuff, because, yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope it was informative, and I hope that you will consider donating. Thank you for watching, and that's all for this video. Bye.